we got a very interesting video today. We're going to be comparing some common words between Italian and Turkish. So we'll start off and do a brief introduction, and then we'll do a bunch of words, and then in the end, we're going to do sentences.
Hi, this is Deniz from Istanbul, Turkey. I'm 41 years old. I've been teaching English for academic purposes for almost 13 years now. Actually, more than that now that I think of it.
Hi everyone, I'm Alberto from Milan, Italy, and this is my second video with Bahadur. So if you want to go and check out the Italian-Catalan comparison, it's here on the channel.
Here comes my first word, paravan.
Paravan.
Paravan.
Okay. Yeah, it sounds like a mixture of Italian and French, actually. I think it's, I hardly know how to call it in English, maybe windbreaker or something like that. Yeah.
It's actually, it's something that acts like a separator, could be in a dressing
Okay.
room, or also in hospitals. Hospitals, yeah, we can have that. You can fold it easily, and in English, it's actually a folding screen. So you're actually right.
Okay, yeah, because in Italian we like it sounds basically like the very same Italian word, which is paravento, which literally means like to shield from the wind. So yeah, that's why I thought about windbreaker, which maybe exists in English, but I'm not sure. So my first word is bussola. Bussola.
Bussola, like a compass?
Yeah. How would it be in Turkish?
Pusula.
Pusula. And does it
Pusula.
mean the same thing?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, nice. Okay, didn't know about that.
My second word is vida.
Vida.
Vida.
Okay. Maybe like tricky or a false friend, but like it totally sounds like the Italian word for life, which is vita, but
Not really. Actually, it's
okay.
a kind of an object, a metallic tool that you might use to bring together two objects or pieces.
Oh, okay, got it. Yeah. Okay, it sounds the same in Italian. Actually, a little bit different, but yeah, now I got it. It's vite in Italian, which means screw.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
Screw
Yeah.
is the right word. Yeah.
Okay.
So this one also sounds very similar.
tricky. This one was very tricky because also like in other Latin languages like Spanish and Portuguese, it's exactly the same word, vida. So yeah. Okay. My word is fesseria, which is not very common in modern Italian, but like everyone.
Could you repeat that word?
Fesseria.
Okay. I think I do know this one. I have a guess. Is it like something that doesn't make sense, or like it's nonsense, or it's not?
Yeah, exactly. Or it's just wrong. It means that you're saying something wrong or nonsense.
So I think we have a Turkish word for that. We say fasaria.
Okay, and does it mean the same thing?
Yeah, exactly.
Interesting.
Fasaria.
Yeah,
Like not a big importance as well. In some other contexts, we could also use it to say it's not a big deal, not that important, not very valid as well. Iskarpin.
Iskarpin. Okay, it's again very, very similar. It's something that it reminds me the word shoes in Italian, which is scarpe, and that's and in the end, it's something that in Italian we used to create diminutive words. So scarpino, scarpine in Italian could mean either small shoes, like for babies or kids, or more specifically soccer shoes, scarpini. It's something very technical and related to that specific sport. But I guess that's the semantic area.
In Turkish, it's probably a loan word, and I think technically it's a shoe. Yes, it's the same thing, but with a nuance. It's specifically for women, and generally they wear it in special occasions, maybe.
Okay, so they were like elegant shoes.
High-heeled shoes, basically.
High-heeled shoes, exactly.
Oh,
Yeah.
high heel.
High-heeled
Okay.
shoes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh no, that's completely different. Like we would just say scarpine to mean like little shoes. Yeah, mostly for kids. Okay, so my word is sbandato.
Want to give me some tips?
Yeah, it has actually two different meanings. So it's very hard to give a tip without giving it away. So it's an adjective, and
I think maybe it helps. A lot of times there's a vowel at the end of the Italian word where if you take that out in Turkish, it might sound more familiar to you. So that could be a hint. So if, Alberto, do you want to say the word again, and then Denise just keeps
yeah,
Yeah.
sbandato, and yeah, the last vowel is O, which in Italian 99% of the times means that it's a masculine word. That ever helps.
Actually, a word comes into my mind, but is it something like a robust man, like physically?
Not really. Like, of course, it's an adjective that can refer to a man because it's a masculine word, but no, in Italian it doesn't mean that. I don't know if in Turkish you have a similar word that actually has that meaning, but in
Yeah,
Italian it means something different.
We do have a word similar to it. It's izbandut, which sounds pretty familiar, pretty similar to sbandato, but yeah, I mean, what I imagine is more like a very robust man, and not like a legally acceptable person as well, maybe, or someone who's open to like maybe also aggression.
Like
Okay, yeah,
deranged? Is that
deranged. That's the meaning we have in Italian. Yes, bandato means someone who lives in the outskirts of society, mostly that does illegal things like people who make use of drugs or they don't have a home. Yeah.
Yeah, so the word has, it's the same word basically, but as you see this pattern, a lot of times after centuries, the way the word is used is a little bit different in the other language. And I was reading somewhere that in Turkish, I don't think it's used like this anymore, but I was reading that at one point, a few centuries ago, or whenever it was, they used to refer to Greek pirates with this word. So
Is bandut? Oh,
yes,
okay.
Really?
yes. I don't know how true that is, but yeah, that's what I was reading. That so
Possible,
again,
actually.
yeah. So it's kind of changed the way that it's used. So now we're gonna do the fourth Turkish word.
Sedye.
Sedye. So we have basically the same exact word, like at least it sounds the same in Italian, which is sedie, which is the plural of sedia, actually, which means chair. Sedie in Italian would be chairs, like the plural form of the noun. So is it the same in Turkish?
So I think technically they come from the same basis, so you're
Mm-hmm.
close to it, but it's
Mm-hmm.
not a chair. It's something that is usually used when someone is injured, especially in hospitals, they use it.
Okay.
So you don't sit down, but you kind of lie on it.
Okay. Yeah, I got it. I don't think I know the
A
English.
stretcher. A stretcher.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a
Yeah, it's like
stretcher.
in like football
Stretcher.
games, like they come.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, sure, sure.
Yeah.
Stretcher. Oh no, in Italian that's completely different. It would be barella. So there's no way. So my fourth word is cordicella.
Yeah, you definitely need to explain this one to me.
Okay, yeah, it's something you can tie, and it's a very common and generic word in Italian.
Is it like a shoelace?
Kinda. You can definitely tie it as a shoelace, but it's not specifically that.
There's only one word that comes into my mind that could be similar to Turkish. It's kurdele.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Definitely.
but yeah, we use it to tie things,
Mm-hmm.
generally decoratively, nicely. Sometimes we might also use it to tie the hair, so, like especially for little
Uh-huh.
girls,
Okay.
they might
So it's
use
like a
it.
ribbon. Like,
Exactly,
yeah.
like a ribbon. Wonderful, yeah.
Okay.
Kamera.
Camera. Um, Again, we have a very, very similar word in Italian, which can actually mean two different things. One could be room or like yeah, room in general. Sometimes more specifically bedroom, but yeah, you can use it as a generic word to indicate any kind of room.
It is
Or
actually a room.
okay.
You pick that one, but it's not any room. It's a room uh, in a specific place, on a place, actually, on something. Um, on a ship. Actually,
Oh,
it's a room
okay.
on a ship.
Okay, again, yeah, so like a very old word, let's say, yeah, something that, but it's like a room also on modern like cruise ships where you can actually sleep, or it's just specifically on a like old-fashioned kind
No,
of.
no, even now on cruise
Okay,
ships we use
okay,
that word. Yeah.
interesting. So my last word is bilancio.
Hmm. I think we have this word exactly as it is pronounced
Mm-hmm.
in Italian. We say bilancio,
Yeah,
which could be like the cost of something in a certain sense. Like, let's say if there's an accident, the
mm-hmm.
casualties would be the bilancio for that.
Yeah,
So mostly in economic terms, like financial terms, sometimes this bilancio might be, as I said, like casualties or something else. Um, yeah, but like what something costs, what something um, turns out to cost eventually. Yeah, that's what I can think. Is it like that?
yeah, basically it's the same. So it's actually one of the possible different meanings. We also have this one like the outcome of something. For
Mm-hmm.
example, yeah, the casualties of an accident can be defined as a bilancio dell'incidente, and then it can also mean like the balance sheet of a company, I guess, like a official documentation with, with all the figures of a
Mm-hmm.
company. And then, yeah, it could also be metaphorically like how your year went, for example, like the outcome of your year. When you do like a recap of 2025,
Mm-hmm.
you'll do a bilancio. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's the outcome I would select like as a general meaning.
Yeah. Because outcome, that's very general, right? Like outcome could be
Yeah,
anything.
exactly.
The outcome of like a game, the outcome of like you said, how your year went or things like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that was great. That was wonderful. So now we'll move on to the sentences, which will be a little bit more challenging.
Mhm.
These so when you hear the sentence, just try to see which words make sense to you, and then kind of like piece them together. And if you need hints, ask questions and try to figure it out. For the Turkish sentence, we have two versions. There's a one that's a little bit more challenging, and there's one that is not as difficult. So we are gonna do both of them and then see how Alberto does.
Doktor antibiyotik yazdığı bir reçete verdi.
Okay. Um, so I heard definitely uh three words that have like a Latin root, and we have basically the same in Italian.
Hı hı.
So it's doctor for sure, antibiotic for sure, which is of the same in English because it's a Latin root. And then I think I got like if I think about the meaning of the first two words, I heard another one that reminds me of an Italian word, which is ricetta or something that sounds like that. Like I'm just saying the Italian word that it in my mind is equivalent to it, which would be ricetta.
What does that mean?
It could mean both recipe or prescription, like a medical prescription. So in this case, I would imagine is related to like a prescription of an antibiotic.
Hı hı.
So I
So
didn't get the other words, but this
I can repeat so you can make a count of it, like see if you can guess the rest, and I can help in between.
okay.
Doktor
Mhm.
antibiyotik yazdığı
Mhm.
bir reçete verdi.
Okay. Also wrote a prescription.
Antibiyotik yazdığı though. Antibiyotik yazdığı bir reçete verdi. So it's a prescription.
A written prescription, maybe.
Written, where they wrote, where they wrote prescription. Actually, the translation might not be exactly as it's written in Turkish, but it would be technically something like with antibiotics.
Okay, so he gave a prescription with antibiotics. Okay.
Exactly, yeah. So the last verb, verdi, it's the past participle version of give, which is gave in that sense. So the doctor, would you like to repeat that one?
Yeah, no, so the doctor gave a prescription for antibiotics or
With antibiotics,
with
yeah.
antibiotics. Okay.
Okay. Doktor hastalığın teşhisinden sonra özel bir tedavi planı içeren detaylı bir reçete yazdı.
Okay, this is quite long. I got some words. Okay, no,
Okay.
just so you can read it again. So like.
Vay. Doktor hastalığın teşhisinden sonra means after. Teşhis is similar to like when you kind of define what a health problem is. Teşhisinden sonra is sonra is after. So
after the diagnosis.
Wonderful. I will go back. Hastalığın teşhisinden sonra. Hastalık is practically like the detected illness.
Okay.
So doktor hastalığın teşhisinden sonra
After the diagnosis of the illness, maybe something like that. Okay.
Mhm. I'll go back to the beginning. Doktor, hastalığın teşhisinden sonra.
Yeah.
So, hastalık actually is like the how can I put it? Not being fine, or like when you have a medical problem, you have a
condition like yeah,
that is not healthy. So practically you have some kind of disease. So it's the synonym of it. Hastalık is illness. Teşhis is when you specify this disease. In English,
diagnosis.
Okay.
Okay.
And sonra, doktor hastalığın teşhisinden sonra. Can you guess something until here?
So your mimic made me understand that it's something that related to time, like when this thing happened. So
yeah, sonra is after.
After, later, okay, after.
So doktor hastalığın teşhisinden sonra.
So after the doctor diagnosed the illness.
Kind of, yeah, after the diagnosis of the illness.
Okay.
The doctor özel bir tedavi planı içeren.
Okay.
You got plans, so I go over that part. Özel bir tedavi planı.
So that's the plan, okay.
A kind of plan. So for an illness, what kind of a plan would the doctor do?
Like a therapy?
Very good. Like a treatment plan or a therapy plan. Özel bir tedavi planı, though. Not like any tedavi planı, but
like a proper one, like a specific.
Kind of exclusive.
Exclusive, okay, specific, maybe. Okay.
Special one, yeah.
Special,
A special
okay.
treatment plan. This might be a little difficult. İçeren detaylı bir reçete yazdı. So I'll go back to the beginning. Doktor hastalığın teşhisinden sonra özel bir tedavi planı içeren. This part might be easier for you. Detaylı bir reçete yazdı.
Okay,
Detaylı bir reçete yazdı.
I think I got one more word that I didn't before, like detalye, something about details.
Exactly.
Okay, okay. And reçete, again, in this context, we have a very similar word in Italian, which means prescription. Okay, so after the doctor again diagnosed the illness or
yeah, after the diagnosis
of the illness,
doktor özel bir tedavi planı içeren detaylı bir reçete yazdı.
So let's try to remember all the hints that you gave me. So it would be it's like the doctor wrote a prescription with the special therapy plan.
Wonderful.
Okay,
Spot on,
perfect.
yeah.
Got it.
Congratulations.
You got
really
it.
difficult.
that was a very, very challenging.
Yeah, I have just one version and it's definitely easier. So my sentence would be: ho comprato un nuovo libro del mio autore preferito con uno sconto del 20%.
Sconto, I think, is a word that I can recognize because we have iskonto in Turkish, which is, I think, discount, also similar to English.
Yeah. Same in Italian.
Can you go
In the
back to the beginning anyways?
Yeah, sure. So ho comprato, which is the verb, if it can work as a hint, un nuovo libro del mio autore preferito con uno sconto del 20%. Is there any other word that remind you something?
Percento could be percent.
Yes, exactly. It's a way to express the percentage.
And you said, what is the percentage? I think you mentioned also the percentage,
20,
which
20.
is 20,
Yes, exactly.
20% of discount.
Yes.
Okay, and
So the verb in the beginning is ho comprato. So which kind of verb like relates to buying something? And un nuovo libro, which is the thing.
wait a minute. So
Yeah.
novo would be like new, because
Yes,
I think
exactly.
like in French it's nouveau, in Spanish it's nuevo, I think so, in
Exactly.
Italian.
Yeah, both are correct. So
Okay.
it's the same in Italian. It means new. And
Okay.
then libro, if you have basic knowledge of Spanish or French, you can also get it.
Yeah, I think it's book.
Yes,
So like a
exactly.
new book.
Exactly. Yeah.
You
So
bought a
ho
new book.
comprato un nuovo libro.
I bought a new book.
Yes. Del mio autore preferito. So
Preferito would be like favorite,
yes, exactly.
and autore
And
would be like writer, author.
author, yeah, because also in English it sounds the same. So it's
Okay. Can you repeat
so
from the beginning?
yes, so it's ho comprato un nuovo libro del mio autore preferito con uno sconto del 20%.
Okay. I bought a new book of my
Yeah,
favorite author with a 20% of discount.
perfect. Yeah, much easier than yours. Much simpler, as I mentioned before. Yeah,
Awesome.
you got it.
Yep, that
But
was
if you have basic knowledge of other Latin languages,
Yeah.
helps a lot.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. No, that was perfect. That was really, really wonderful. As we were talking about this before, there was during the Ottoman period, the historical context between the Turks and Europeans, the one that is often talked about and people know about is with French, because the French language was and the same goes with other parts of the world. The French had the same level as what English has today.
Yeah. I
Exactly.
And
think it was lingua franca for some while, right?
It
yes,
comes from that, I think. Yeah, Franca comes from French. Yeah,
exactly, exactly. And but what is less known is the contact between the Ottomans and the Italians. And this is very interesting because a lot of these words are sort of from a historical period, like you go back many centuries. And yeah, and I think that's what makes it very interesting. Like, and there are definitely a lot more words. I welcome people who are watching the video to share more. So
yeah.
thank you so much. This was
Thank you, Bahadur.
really
Thank
great.
you.
And we'll definitely be in touch. Have a
Yeah.
great evening, and we'll talk soon.
You
You
too.
too.
Have a good day.
Bye, Alberto.
Bye.
Yeah.
Bye.
Ciao.
Nice to meet you. Ciao.